Hey guys, what's up? Happy Thursday. Coming to you live again from my childhood bedroom in Pittsburgh. And today I did a post earlier about your story. And it's about perfection and your flaws. And it's something that I work on every day too, because your story can be different things, right? It can be the story of your past and how those things influence your present and even your future. And it can also be the story of your future and what you ideally want to see for yourself and create for yourself. And a lot of times we allow the stories of our past to affect who we are in this moment, to affect how we react, to affect how we respond to things, to affect how we feel we're capable of accomplishing things or not. So, I mean, for instance, for me, I know one of the things is, for me, the story of my past that influences me a lot is, my struggle with infertility. I've talked about it a lot and shared with you a lot about it. And a part of that story that influences me a lot is because it made me feel inadequate and it made me feel weak, and it defined how I looked at myself. And so one of the things that I do now in trying to come forth with that is often think about my story of my future, because that past self, that those past events that happened to me, they live in my head, and yes, they affected my future because I can't get pregnant on my own, but it doesn't mean that I can't change my story. It doesn't mean that I have to continually look at myself as somebody who's inadequate, somebody who can't achieve certain things in their life. But, having a child may just be one of those things for me. Doesn't have to affect how I look at my future. Doesn't have to affect how I see possibility for me. So when I get into a moment where I'm really beaten down on myself, or I'm up all night with insomnia because I'm thinking about all the things that I should be doing to make myself better, or could be doing, or how I failed at certain things, or how I'm imperfect, or if I was just stronger, had more money, all these things. And the number one question that I ask myself is, how is that story affecting the way I want to see myself in my future? How are the thoughts that I believe about myself? I'm inadequate. I'm not strong enough. I'm not, where I want to be in my life. How are they helping to shape my future self? How are they helping me to push forward? How are they helping me to accomplish this version of myself that I want to be, who's really strong, who's really independent, who's really self-assured and confident, and not afraid to be that way? And so sometimes we allow the stories of our past to really influence who we become, and allows it to really shape and mold our future. So for instance, if you were somebody who as a child who was really told to be less loud, don't be such a showboat, don't say certain things, keep your comments to yourself, or apologize all the time because you feel inadequate for stepping in front of somebody, or really just told a lot of comments that make you feel like you can't be who you really are, that make you feel like you can't be as outlandish as you want to be, who you can't dye your hair several different colors, you can't say fuck, shit, piss, damn, whatever, you can't step outside and be a free spirit and be honest with your opinions. And if you let that really shape who you are, and you really hold on to that, and you live in that past place all the time, it can really affect who you become in your future. It can really influence whether or not you feel you have the audacity to go out and create the life that you want, have the audacity to speak out on a struggle that you have the, courage to stand up and voice an opinion that may not be popular, or use words that are colorful to you because that's who you are, or to wear certain clothing, to have certain piercings, tattoos, or to have the balls to start your own business, or to even come out and air your personal preference on anything. And when I get to that mind frame, when I get to that place where, me in my life, where I'm kind of like, oftentimes growing up, I was told that I was too free-spirited, that I needed to be pulled down, to be less loud, to be less colorful, to be less myself. Oftentimes when I get to that dark place where I think, I wasn't deserving to have a child, or I'm not deserving of having my own business, or who the hell do I think I am in being a life coach? A lot of times those old thoughts creep their way into my head. A lot of times those thoughts of, don't showboat so much, pull yourself down, don't be so out in public, don't air your opinions, who cares what you think, or maybe I'm not deserving of being a mom. All those thoughts that were, push upon you and influence you to stay reserved and not have the audacity. And I use audacity on purpose because it's almost like, who are you? Who do you think you are to have such courageous, bold thoughts, ideas, or even simply the desire to change your life? They hold us back. That story of whatever, some person came to you or to your parents or to a friend or was told so-and-so, or you overheard somebody, however the information got to you, it got to you, right? And those thoughts planted a place in your brain and allowed themselves to perpetuate themselves throughout your life, and became these opinions or these reasons that you believe, that you bought onto. They became a story. They became a part of a story that you told yourself. Yes, they may be opinions of somebody else. Yes, they may be, like I said, thoughts of somebody else that got their way to you, but they formulated themselves in your life. And very well can be the impetus or the reason for why we forbid ourselves to be audacious, to be courageous, to talk about the things that hurt us, to want to be individual, unique, to air who we are without limitation, and say, I deserve and I want and I will be this person that is full of energy and shows it, and because that's just who I am. Or is confident and shares it because they want to and it feels good, or to speaks their opinion, or to encourages others, or to take risks. So sometimes it's the story that we believe more that prevents us from morphing into the persons that we want to become. So when I get to that point where I feel like, like I said, I have insomnia and I can't sleep at night because I'm worried that, maybe I said something on social media that was too bold, or maybe I shared a part of my story that was, I heard from a comment from somebody once, it was, oh crap, what's the word they said? It was a word that when they said it to me, I was like, wow, pretentious. I was pretentious for sharing my story about infertility, and my opinions about it, and sharing my version of what I went through. That plants itself in there, and that becomes a part of your story, and it can inhibit you from really truly being yourself, or feeling like you can really be yourself. So when I get to that place, and having those thoughts, I ask myself, how is the story serving you? Is it keeping you in this place where you want to experience change, you want to implore yourself and even others to step out and be more of themselves by holding on to it and believing it and buying into it more than you believe in your energy and your spirit and your own courage to speak out and do the things you want to do? And if the answer is yes, the story is preventing me from doing this, yes, the story is making me feel stalled or inhibited, then I do everything I can to say I choose more to be the story of my future than the story of anything that existed in my past that contributes to preventing me from this future life. So I don't know if that even made sense. I don't even know if it was all over the place, but I believe in that. I believe in getting to a place where we allow our stories to be more a propeller to push us forward to being our best possible selves, speaking out and doing the things that we believe in, and allowing ourselves to believe that we are courageous and we should love our own energy and should love our own confidence, than we do any of the things that weigh us down, any of the things that prevent us from being our best possible selves. So create your own story. And those that don't like it, they don't have to read it. They don't have to be a part of it. But as long as you feel fulfilled and the people in your life see that you feel fulfilled, that's what counts. That's what matters. Because there's nothing we can do about our past. And that sucks. And I know that firsthand. And I wish there were things I could do about our struggle with infertility, but I can't. And I can't afford to live in that place anymore either. So there's nothing we can do about our past, but there's so much more we could do to rewrite our story and to influence our future. So I hope this was helpful. And if you have any comments or want to reach out to me and talk about this further and things that you can do to further your story and help you become the version of yourself that you see in your mind, but you're struggling to get there. You're struggling to be that person. You're letting your other stories weigh you down and influence you more than you even choose to want to admit. Let me know. I'm your girl. I got your back. All right, guys. Be easy. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Bye.